I now recognize Mr. Thompson for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to all of our witnesses for being here today. As the co-chair of the Congressional Career and Technical Education Caucus, this hearing is timely given the challenges employers currently face in finding skilled workers in nearly every industry and every sector across the country. CTE schools often educate students with these skills in mind at a low cost and, quite frankly, in a short period of time. Now, I'm glad we're finally recognizing as a society the value of careers and education outside of traditional four-year universities. As I travel throughout my district, I'm incredibly pleased to see many career and technical education schools that now have waiting lists because of increased interest and demand. These investments in our future will help the next generation climb the ladder of opportunity. I always like to say it's not so important where you start in life, it's where you end up. And having be able to reach that next rung in the ladder of opportunity is what we work hard to provide. Mr. Healy, as you noted in your testimony at a company as large as SAP, you implement a wide variety of hiring practices to recruit and retain a talented workforce. Now, while I'm sure that some jobs at your company may require a bachelor's or advanced degree, you noted how many do not. And even though a prospective employee may not have all the necessary skills for the job on day one, that doesn't mean that the employer cannot fill in the gaps. So, Mr. Healy, how do you think we can place a greater emphasis on employer-driven upskilling, such as apprenticeships or other work-based learning?
Congressman, thank you for your question. Employers will provide and serve an important role in helping newly onboarded candidates develop ongoing learning and skills to succeed in their job, to also be prepared for jobs that don't quite exist in the, or haven't been budgeted yet in a company. So companies like SAP place a great emphasis on learning, on skills development, along with rotation programs, internship programs. But collectively, we believe in on-the-job learning, which is every talent has an opportunity to learn about 70% of what they need to be successful and for career growth on the job. Another 20% is in mentoring and coaching and ongoing support. And finally, the 10% part is in the actual hardcore skills learning. So it's a combination, but it's certainly fostered on the job.
Well, similarly, your testimony touched on the idea that skills-based hiring means that companies should consider a job applicant's current skills in addition to a candidate's ability to acquire new skills for the future. What are some of the ways employers can gauge an individual's potential to build relevant skills?
Thank you for the question. I think that, as was referenced earlier, certainly standardized and objective measures to assess a candidate's skills. The applicability of those skills for roles within, for example, SAP, will allow more employers like SAP, and this is something that we're trying to do consistently, to make more informed and better decisions. But it does come down to that standardization and objective measurement of the skills that are in demand for roles. So that removes, again, the focus away from the degree and perhaps the institution where they studied to the actual skills.
Very good. Along those lines, graduates from CTE schools are often well equipped with the technical skills and knowledge that employers are looking for. And I've been proud to see so many partnerships between the private sector and these schools in recent years. In many instances, local employers are coming to CTE schools with a set of skills or knowledge that they need to fill vacant positions, and these schools have been able to collaborate with them on a curriculum that meets these needs. Do you think that there are ways companies like SAP can partner more closely with CTE schools so they are involved in the students' education and can ensure that their skills meet the needs of today and, quite frankly, tomorrow's workforce?
Congressman, yes, I do agree, and I believe that there's a massive opportunity for companies like SAP to partner with institutions like this. Just as an example, now this is our University Alliance program, but we're extending that approach. For 25 years, SAP has worked with universities community colleges around this country, where we engage between 125,000 and 150,000 students to learn very specific SAP skills that can apply to not only our customers, we have 197,000 customers in the United States, but also our partner community, and certainly SAP alone. And these programs incorporated into coursework, CT programs, et cetera, provide very relevant, timely skills, which will stand out, by the way, on a LinkedIn profile, which will stand out when we're running skills-based searches in LinkedIn to identify candidates. So I think that there's more of an opportunity to move that focus and engagement from the university level to other schools as well.
Thank you, Mr. Healy. My time is